Hello, and welcome to your sacral chakra practice. We are going to need a blanket or even two blankets, a couple of pillows, or a nice thick bolster. Grab something that you can sit on. You can also use later in a reclined twist. The sacral chakra is called Svadhisthana and is located in the pelvis just above the pubic bone. Svadhisthana is associated with the downward flow of prana, apanavayu, just as the root chakra, muladhara, is. While the root chakra grounds us in stability, the sacral chakra supports fluidity, physically, emotionally, energetically. The sacral chakra is related to the element water and all of the water systems in our bodies. So the urinary system, the reproductive system associated with water, and the sacral chakra. Psychologically, the sacral chakra is connected to our ability to feel our emotions, to experience pleasure, our relationship with sensations and desire and intimacy. So we are going to be bringing attention, breath, and energy to the sacral chakra to support our ability to connect, our ability to relate, to experience our emotions in a way that isn't overwhelming, and to honor our experience of pleasure. So let's settle in together. You may come to lie on your back. If you want a pillow, you can take one there. I'll suggest you plant your feet down with your knees bent up toward the ceiling. You can rest your knees together or have your knees be separate. You can choose to rest your arms on the ground, or if you like to have your hands at your low belly, kind of the area of Svadhisthana, you may. One of our tools that we're going to use for Svadhisthana practice is pelvic breathing, the natural movement of the muscles of the pelvic floor with breathing. In order to get those muscles to move with the breath, we are going to focus on rib cage breathing to begin. The pelvic floor muscles move in response to the respiratory diaphragm. So we're going to invite the diaphragm to move well so the pelvic floor muscles move well. As you inhale, imagine your rib cage expands in all directions, or invite it, feel it expanding in all directions. As you exhale, your rib cage hugs inward. All of those areas of expansion now hug inward. As you inhale, your rib cage expands, your diaphragm descends towards your pelvis. As you exhale, your diaphragm ascends back up toward your skull, your rib cage hugs inward. As you inhale, your rib cage expands, your diaphragm descends. Imagine your pelvic bowl expands like your rib cage. Sense your pelvic bowl deepening. As you exhale, your pelvic floor muscles lift and dome toward your abdomen. Imagine your pelvic bowl hugs inward as your rib cage hugs inward. As you inhale, your rib cage expands, your diaphragm descends, your pelvic bowl deepens. As you exhale, your pelvic floor muscles lift and dome toward your abdomen, and sense your rib cage hugging inward as your diaphragm lifts and domes toward your skull. With pelvic breathing, there's no intentional effort we're placing upon those muscles of the pelvic floor, so there's no bearing down with the inhalation. There's no intentional pelvic floor contraction with the exhalation. Though you will feel those muscles lengthening, moving towards your calves or your heels as you inhale, and then shortening, lifting and doming toward your belly as you exhale. Now let's continue with pelvic breathing as we bring attention to the sacral chakra itself. So you might imagine a sphere of energy and light, a concentrated globe of energy and light in your pelvis, perhaps the center of your pelvis. Just kind of feel around and notice where you feel a sense of presence or aliveness. As you inhale, feel your pelvic floor muscles lengthening with attention at sacral chakra. And then feel your pelvic floor muscles lifting and shortening up toward your abdomen with attention at sacral chakra. Awake with both your physical body movements and your energetic body and structures. As you inhale, have the sense that your breath is nourishing your sacral chakra, nourishing your pelvic floor muscles, your whole pelvic girdle, all of your organs of elimination and reproduction. And then as you exhale, follow your exhalation all the way to its end. Rest into that moment at the bottom of your exhale. Let's continue to nourish sacral chakra, our inner waters, as we continue pelvic breathing throughout practice today. You may widen your eyes and hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. Come to center, please. Take your hands to your kneecaps. Press your knees away from your chest. Take your knees wide. Draw your knees into your chest and together, and then let's keep going. Press knees away, take them wide, draw them in and together. We're going to keep circling like this. As you inhale, pelvic bowl deepens. As you exhale, pelvic floor muscles effortlessly lift and dome toward your abdomen without any effort, rather. Let's switch the direction of the circles. Please plant your feet down, wider than your hips. Reach your arms up toward the ceiling. Grab your opposite hand, wrist, or forearm over your chest. Knees to one side, elbows to the other side. Gently pull your arms down toward the ground and rock your head the direction your arms go. And then switch. Continue just like this. Let your knees drop down toward the ground as far as they go, inviting your hip internal and external ranges of motion, warming them up. Let's continue flowing here, resting into the rhythm of pelvic breathing, nourishing your root chakra, and your inner waters, your sacral chakra. Now please come back to center. Release your arms. If you have a pillow under your head, you can remove your pillow, slide it away so your head is resting on the ground. Let's set up for bridge pose. Take your heels a little wider than your sit bones. You can adjust your feet as you like. Exhale everything out. Inhale here with your pelvis resting on the ground. Your pelvic bowl deepens. And then exhale, press your feet down, curl your tail up. Pelvic floor muscles lift and dome toward your abdomen. Stay in your bridge as you inhale. Pelvic bowl deepens, albeit a little less movement in your pelvic floor as you're holding this shape. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Pelvic floor muscles lift and dome toward your abdomen. Let's continue. Inhale, pelvic bowl deepens. And then exhale, curl on up. Pelvic floor muscles lift. Continue flowing in this pattern and resting your attention in the rhythm of pelvic breathing. The next time your pelvis is lifted, pause there, please. Continue flowing until you're in your bridge, pause, and then let's continue with pelvic breathing here. So because you are using muscular effort in this shape, your pelvic floor muscles, which are part of your core musculature, these muscles will move less than when you're at rest, but we still want them to be moving. What we don't want are pelvic floor muscles that are in a state of contraction your whole inhale and exhale. So let's inhale into turtle shell, feel the back of your rib cage expand, your pelvic bowl deepens. And then exhale fully, feel those muscles now effortlessly lift back up toward your abdomen. With your next exhale, you can curl your tail up as you lower down one vertebra at a time, lower all the way down. And then once you're down, let's give a little hug of the knees into the chest. Again, rock from side to side. And then we are gonna rock up or roll over to press up to hands and knees. So as you like, you can rock up or you can roll over and press up. Come to your hands and knees. If you want padding under your knees, take your blanket there. We're gonna flow through cow and cat and then add on to that vinyasa. So as you're ready, find your tabletop. And let's start to flow through cow and cat. Notice your pelvic breathing here, if it feels more or less accessible. Maybe your inhale feels more accessible, or you can notice it more, or your exhale, you can notice it more. Now we're going to add on to this vinyasa. Please inhale into cow pose. Then exhale, child's pose. Round your back first like cat, and then sink your hips back and down. Inhale, rise back up to cow. Then exhale, curl your toes under, downward facing dog. So that vinyasa will continue a few more times. Knees down, inhale, cow pose. Exhale, child's pose, round. You can press your hands down to drive your pelvis down. Inhale back up to cow. Curl your toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Knees down, inhale, cow, continue on your own. Every inhale, you're in cow pose, and every exhale, you're taking a child's pose or a down dog. We'll continue. And do this one more time, please, ending in downward facing dog. And if you have a blanket underneath you, you can get rid of it once you finish this last vinyasa. And we'll all meet up in downward facing dog. Relax your neck. And notice your pelvic breathing in this shape. You're in a bit more of an inversion than your bridge pose was likely. So just notice how gravity is influencing your pelvic floor muscles. As you exhale, notice your pelvic floor lifting or moving toward your abdomen, rather, drawing toward your abdomen. As you inhale, your pelvic bowl deepens. You might imagine your sit bones are widening as you inhale. Now come forward to plank pose. You can take any version of plank. Inhale to your turtle shell. Let's try a shushing breath with exhalation. Shh. Feel the strength of your abdominals gather. And notice, do you feel your pelvic floor muscles contract more strongly with your shushing breath? Let's do another one. Inhale to your turtle shell. Exhale, shush. Then take your knees down. Inhale, turtle shell. Exhale, shush. Feel the strength of your abdominals and your pelvic floor as you lower. Point your toes. Slide your elbows underneath your shoulders for Sphinx pose. Press your elbows down. Reach up through your crown. Without moving your forearms, drag them back. Steady your gaze. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. And bring your attention down to your pelvis. Now, we are engaging a lot in this shape. Abdominals are on, your chest muscles are working, your back muscles and glutes are working. So there won't be as much movement in your pelvic floor as in a resting position. But let's still invite some fluid, wave-like pulsations, motions as we breathe all the way down in the pelvis. Connecting with your inner waters, allowing for fluidity, adaptability. With your next exhale, widen your elbows, lower your chest, slide your hands back, downward facing dog, please. From your downward facing dog, we are going to move into warrior two pose. Exhale everything out. Inhale, reach your right leg up. Exhale, step your right foot forward for warrior two. Help it forward as you need. Root your back heel down and then lift all the way up. Okay, so we're facing the long edge of the mat. You can adjust your feet as you need. Your right knee is pointing straight over to the right. Right knee and toes are pointing to the right. Let your pelvis angle some amount to the right. It's not going to be able to square to the side of the mat because we don't have hips that move in that range. So let it angle. Find your version of Virabhadrasana 2. And then let's turn the palms either up or forward. We're going to flow here. Exhale everything out. As you inhale, reverse your warrior. Land your left hand, sweep your right arm next to your right ear, and then even straighten your right knee. As you exhale, lift back into warrior two, and then lean over to side angle. You can land your forearm on your thigh or float your arm in front. Then we'll inhale to reverse warrior, straighten your knee, more like a reverse triangle here. And then exhale to side angle. Land or float. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior. Straighten that front knee. And then exhale, side angle. Bend your front knee, lean. Good, you're getting an oblique workout here. Let's inhale. Breathe deeply all the way down to your pelvis. And exhale, full exhale, pelvic floor muscles lift, abdominals hug in. We'll continue here with attention in pelvic breathing. Great. Continue like this as you inhale into your reverse warrior / triangle. Allow that left side of the pelvis to draw down to the ground. Yeah. Your pelvis can angle a little bit to the right as you lean over in side angle. One more time, moving into reverse triangle, and then we're going to hold side angle. The next time you get to your side angle, let's pause. So do land your forearm on your thigh. Reach your left arm next to your left ear. Press your right elbow down so your shoulder's moving down away from your ear. Good. Press your feet down without moving your legs. Press them away from one another. So feet are pressing down and moving away. Feeling perhaps your outer hips engaged. Maybe there's a little sense of support in your foundation with those actions. If your head, neck needs something different, you can look down at your right foot. You can also choose to rest your head into the support of your left hand, wherever it works. We'll be here for just another couple breaths. Let's inhale deeply, pelvic bowl deepens. Full exhale, those pelvic floor muscles lift. Stay rooting through your foundation. You're doing great. One more inhale. Then as you exhale, let's look down and reach your top arm away from your head. Lift all the way up to your warrior two. Then take your left hand to your thigh, and we're going to slide into reverse warrior here. So you can slide your left hand down, sweep your right arm next to your right ear. With your next exhale, downward facing dog, please. Let's pause here for a few breaths. As you're breathing deeply so that your pelvic floor muscles are responding to every breath, bring attention to your sacral center, your sacral chakra. So you're breathing deeply, feeling your muscles move, and you're also aware of your energetic anatomy. Your inner waters, your ability to ride the emotional waves of life without getting overwhelmed. Express your emotions, your relationship to pleasure and connection. With every breath, you are nourishing all of the actions of Svadhisthana. Exhale everything out, please. Inhale, reach your left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot forward for warrior two. Root your back heel. Lift all the way up. And then point your left knee and toes to the left. Your pelvis angles some amount to the left. You can square your chest to the side of the mat and turn your palms forward or up. Exhale everything out. inhale, reverse warrior. Take your right hand to your leg, reach your left arm next to your left ear, and then you can straighten your left knee. Exhale, side angle. Bend your left knee, lean over to your left, land your left forearm, or sweep it in front. And then inhale, reverse warrior. Straighten your front knee into reverse triangle. Exhale, side bend, Parshvakonasana. Let's continue. So as you inhale, use the ground to help you lift back up into reverse warrior and triangle. Really press your feet down. As you exhale, full exhale, feel the strength of your abdominals gather in, your pelvic floor muscles lift. We'll continue. That's it. When your attention disconnects from pelvic breathing or your sacral chakra, bring it back. Without finishing that thought, come back to focus on your physical body anatomy, your pelvic breathing, or your energetic anatomy, your sacral chakra. One more time in this flow, moving into reverse triangle, and then we're gonna land and hold side angle. So keep flowing, land into your side angle, and then rest your left elbow on your left thigh. Press your elbow down so your shoulder moves down. Press your feet down, and without moving your legs, press them away from one another. Notice what pressing down, pressing away does in this postural support for you. You can support your head by taking your right hand to your head if you like, or looking down. Let's breathe here. All right, we're gonna look down, reach right arm over to the right, press your feet down to lift up, and then land your right hand reverse warrior. Slide your left arm next to your left ear. You can keep that left knee bent, or if you like to straighten it, you're welcome to. Let's take a full breath in, this nourishing breath, nourishing your inner waters, your sacral center. Full breath out. Last inhale here, and then as you exhale, downward facing dog. All right, from down dog, let's come forward to plank pose. And coming up next is a vinyasa of your choice. As you're ready, you may, with or without your knees, lower halfway down or all the way down. Then inhale to Sphinx Cobra or Up Dog. Whatever back bend your body wants, take it. Be here as many breaths as you want. And then as you're ready, you may transition back to downward facing dog. All right, from your downward facing dog, take your knees down to the ground. We are going to do a variation of side plank, which gets a little fiery in the hips as well. So we're gonna start on the right side, and we'll take the right elbow underneath the shoulder, and the knees will be bent and pulled forward a little bit. So you have some hip flexion, your legs are stacked. And then I'd like you to scoot your right elbow just like half an inch, a little bit closer to your rib cage or to your pelvis. Just hug it in a little bit. You're gonna lift up and then your shoulder will be over your elbow. You can do whatever you want with your right hand and forearm. You can have your palm pressing down and your forearm any position you want, or maybe it feels better on your shoulder to have your hand not pressing down. Maybe it faces to the side or up, or maybe you make a fist. I'm gonna make a fist. You do what you want. And then let's take the top hand, left fingertips in front of the belly on the ground, just for a little bit of support here. Okay, press your right elbow down. You're gonna keep pressing your right elbow down the whole time we flow through this vinyasa. Other parts are gonna be lifting and lowering, but the right elbow will stay pressing down the whole time. As you're ready, I want you to lift your pelvis up. If you feel steady, take your left hand to your hip. If you want more challenge, reach your left arm up. Keep pressing that right elbow down. Option to hover your left knee, lifting it up maybe a little higher than your pelvis. Whee, you're in this kind of like funny side-shaped star position. And then we're gonna slowly with control come out of this. Lower the leg, take your top hand down in front, stay rooting through your right elbow the whole time you lower your pelvis. So you're not sinking in that right shoulder, it stays engaged the whole time. So you can segmentally do this, or you can do this in another way that's a little less segmented. So another option here is just to take your left hand to your hip, press your right elbow down, lift your pelvis up, lift your arm and leg, and then slowly lower hand to hip, lower your pelvis all the way down. So you can do the segmented and supported version with your hand in front or your hand at your hip. We're gonna keep going. Let's inhale here. Exhale, press down, lift up. Lift your pelvis, lift your arm, lift your knee as high as your knee wants to go. Then we're gonna inhale, slowly lower it back down. Exhale, lift back up. Open. Inhale, slowly lower it back down. Now, if you need to adjust things, do that. Exhale, lift up, open. Great. Inhale, lower it down. Shoulder stays steady the whole time. Exhale, lift and open. Feel your pelvic floor muscles lift, your abdominals hug in. Inhale, lower down. We're doing this 2 more times. This is a lot of strengthening. Exhale, lift, open. Great. Inhale, slow, controlled lower. Last one, we're gonna hold it. Exhale, lift and open. Now, if you want more challenge, straighten your top leg, straighten your lifted leg. Whoo, just a bit more weight to deal with here. Longer lever. We're gonna inhale into turtle shell. Exhale everything out. One more inhale, then we're gonna exhale to lower, bend your knee, and exhale to lower all the way down. Whew, that was good work. Let's rest before we take the second side. So you may rest on your back side, or you might come into crocodile or child's pose. Let's just take some rest breaths so you can regain your energy and focus for your second side. Breathe into your pelvis. Those muscles were working a lot, so now we want to give them a little break. Welcome pelvic breathing. Okay, let's set up for that second side. We're going to be on the left side. The elbow is going to be under the shoulder to start. And then knees are pulled forward, so you have a little bit of hip flexion. Your knees and legs are stacked. And then you can hug your elbow in just a smidge closer to your left rib cage. Choose how you're going to place your hand and your forearm. Might need something different on this side. And then you can take your top hand in front of your belly on the ground. Press your left elbow down. Your shoulder is going to stay like this. It's strong the whole time. You might try shush breath. Shh.
Feel the strength of your abdominals, your pelvic floor. Lift your pelvis. Take your right hand to your hip. Reach your right arm up. Option to lift your right leg. Good. Let's inhale. Exhale here. And then as you're ready, lower your leg. Take your top hand down in front. Stay rooted through your left elbow as you slowly lower your pelvis. You can continue to do it that way, or you can open by starting with your right hand at your hip and then exhaling to lift into your side plank, lift the arm and leg. Inhale to lower back down. Maybe hand comes to hip or the ground. Exhale, lift. Press down through your left elbow, down through your bottom leg. Lift your pelvis, side, waist, and arm and leg up. Then inhale, lower back down. Let's continue. Exhale, maybe shh. If you felt your pelvic floor contract more with a shush breath, why not shush here? You're going to feel stronger. Inhale, slowly lower. Whew, good. Let's keep going. Good. Your shoulder stability is looking great. This is a lot of work. Shoulder, hips, core, you are doing fantastic. Continue and add in either attention to sacral chakra, just resting your attention in your pelvis, the center of your pelvis, or maybe pelvic breathing, right? You still want a little movement in those pelvic floor muscles here. We're going to do this 2 more times and hold the last one. Oof, we're almost there. Last time lifted, we're going to hold it. If you want more challenge, straighten your top knee. Lifting up through your bottom side waist. You're almost there. Inhale, full exhale. Another inhale, you're going to lower on your exhale. Bend your knee, lower your leg, come all the way out. Let's rest on the backside for a moment. So come to recline, plant your feet, knees bent up toward the ceiling. You could have your hands at your low belly, just kind of stacked on top of one another, or positioned any other way you like. And then let's take some pelvic breaths here. As you inhale, imagine your pelvic bowl expands like your rib cage expands. And then sense the muscles at the base of your pelvic bowl lengthening, so it feels like your bowl deepens. Full exhale, feel those same muscles now lift and dome towards your abdomen. All right, from here, we are going to set up for a reclined twist. We are nearing Shavasana. If you like to set your space up for Shavasana, you may. What I'll suggest for your twist is something to land your leg on. So we're going to have a bolster or pillow or blanket or stacked blankets over on the right side. So kind of in line with your right hip, your right thigh, on the right side of your body. And then let's extend the right leg, lift the left knee to the chest, and then take your right hand to your left knee, your left arm out to your left side. Twist your left knee over to your right. Land your leg on your stacked blankets or your bolster, and then you can continue to adjust this as you need. If you want to scooch or wiggle, adjusting, you may. Your left arm is out to your left side at a T or a diagonal. You could also choose to take your left hand behind your head as a pillow. All right, we're going to switch sides. Please come back onto your back side. Move your stacked blankets or your bolster over to your left. Extend your left leg. Hug your right knee into your chest. Take your left hand to your right knee and your right arm out to your right side, and then twist your lifted knee over to your left. Land your right knee, ankle, foot, adjust as you need. Continue with awareness of sacral chakra and pelvic breathing. It's time to untwist and come into Shavasana. If there's anything else you'd like before Shavasana, you can take it. You can take a happy baby or hug your knees in and rock or any other shape that might feel good. And then as you're ready, come into your Shavasana. As you're practicing Shavasana, continue to resource the Svadhisthana tools that you've been using today. Pelvic breathing and attention at your sacral chakra. Just resting your attention in the center of your pelvis and or feeling the movement of the muscles at the base of your pelvis with every breath. Simply by directing your attention there, feeling the movement of your breath there, you are inviting energy, prana, to flow into your pelvis, to flow to your sacral chakra, to nourish your inner waters, your ability to express yourself emotionally, your relationship with pleasure, intimacy, and connection. As your body receives breath, have a sense that this breath is nourishing you, nourishing your inner waters. Svadhisthana. You may begin to deepen your breath. Move your body as you need. And in your own time, find your seat. Once you're upright, join your palms together at your heart. And we'll share a closing breath. As we exhale, I'll suggest that we have the intention of offering the benefits of our practice to others, so others can benefit from the yoga here as well. With quiet eyes, exhale everything out. Let's welcome a full breath in and a full breath out. As you're ready, you may release your hands and widen your eyes. Thank you for practicing with me today.